Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a curriculum unboxing, a curriculum haul with you guys, and to share some resources that I have found helpful and that I look forward to using for the upcoming 2023 to 2024 school year. I recently have shared over the last couple of months my curriculum picks for our family subjects, and then for my 11th grader, 7th grader, 3rd grader, and then pre-K and kindergarten curriculum picks. And I also shared in some of those videos that some things I was undecided about and that I would share more as I made those decisions. And some of what you'll see in today's curriculum unboxing and curriculum haul are some of those decisions being made and getting them and what they look like and what things I chose and things like that. Before we jump into the video though, I do want to talk to you about the Good and the Beautiful's kids channel. If you did not already know, they have a kids channel on YouTube that is mostly geared towards ages 3 through 5. That is what I would approve for screen time. Now, if you've been around for any length of time, you've probably picked up on the fact that I do not do much screen time at all with my children. So I really try to stay screen free as much as possible. There are a few instances where we use screens, which I've talked about in the past, like my 6th grader. This year, his math had a video component with the Good and the Beautiful, so of course he needed to use a screen for that. It is not required, but I actually really like it a lot, and so does he. He likes having that video lesson and then his physical workbook to work through his problems in. So that's one way that we have utilized screens. The same for my 10th grader this year, who will be in 11th grade next year. His math also does have a video component to it. And one thing that I did forget to share in my last curriculum video, which was the pre-K and kindergarten curriculum picks video, was something that I actually started using the last couple of months, and I knew I would forget something in these curriculum videos, and that is the thing that I forgot. So I want to share that with you because I love it so much, but also because it connects with talking about the kids channel, which I really, really like. It has adorable songs, it has educational videos, it has like exercise videos that are like go through a story. And so I wanted to add that although it is geared for ages 3 through 5, especially like the learning videos, even my 7, almost 8-year-old actually really loves the exercise videos. So the curriculum that I forgot to share about for my littlest 2 is Science for Little Hearts and Hands by the Good and the Beautiful. Now they just came out with their new Science for Little Hearts and Hands, which is Wind and Waves. And I know eventually I'm going to want to get my hands on that. But in the meantime, we are still working through Fields and Flowers, and it is so precious. So this right here is the Big Book of Science stories. And so for many of the lessons that you'll find in the parent guide, it tells you what page to go to. And there is basically like a little picture book for each of these topics. Like this one is Adam's ants, and it is a handful of pages long, and it is through story that they learn a science topic like ants. Some of the lessons in here, however, have a video component, which I'll be honest, I was a little bit hesitant about in the beginning because I am so kind of anti-screen, which sounds intense, but I kind of am. And especially for younger kids, but really for all of my kids, even my teenager, I tried to limit screens tremendously. So I would really say that this is the only screen time that my littles get in our home at all, is an occasional video. Like we only do this maybe once a week, and like some weeks we don't do it at all. It really just matters. I actually do this as part of our morning time with all of my kids, like if I'm introducing a new topic. For example, we did like parts of a plant, and this one has a poem, and then it has like a little, section about how God created our body to have different parts and also created plants to have different parts. And then there's the little story from the big book of science stories that you read to them. And then there's discussion questions for after that. And then there'll be like optional activities, like either through play or craft or whatever. And I like this as a way to introduce a topic because it gently engages all of my kids in this topic. And then obviously for the older kids, we dig deeper. And for the younger kids, that's really all they needed. Well, some of the lessons will have, and I think it might be every other. Yeah, it's every other because the very next one is edible plants. And in here, you watch the video that goes along with it. And it's just a short few minutes long video all about the topic. And it'll be what I like about it. It isn't fast paced or fast moving or overstimulating. It is not like a kid show, but it does keep their attention, if that makes sense. And so it'll show, if it's talking about wildflowers, like we did the wildflowers one, and it showed like fields of poppies, and it would give like close-ups of specific types of wildflowers and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. So I say all that to say, this is basically the only screen time that my littles get at all are those videos, maybe once a week, if that. And then also something that we've used in the past is the Good and the Beautiful's Kids channel. And it is something that I may use once a week. So if it's like super cold outside, like so cold outside that we're not really gonna get a ton of active play outside, then I may throw on one of those fun exercise videos that go through, like there's one that we did that was the tortoise and the hare. And it went through the story of the tortoise and the hare and acting out the story. It really is just fun and engaging and a way for kids to be active. And even my almost 8-year-old really enjoys that because it's fun and it's silly and it gets them moving and it's just a good time. For my younger two, it has a lot of like nursery rhymes and songs about singing ABCs and days of the week, months of the year, spelling, phonics, and things like that. And while I don't like to lean heavily on video content, even if it's educational, because I think that that can be a really slippery slope with a lot of the mainstream kid shows that present themselves as educational and really are overstimulating with, you know, flashing colors and sounds and all of these different stimuli happening at once that actually are overstimulating to children and can put them in a trance-like state. The Good and the Beautiful is like slow paced, it's peaceful. I find TV very agitating, even for me, and it's overstimulating, but their content is very, very different. It is simple and calm and peaceful and does not have that addictive element of changing screens in less than 3 to 4 seconds. There's a whole science behind how they make children's programming addictive, and it does create addiction in the brain. And so I am very careful with any screen time that I expose my children to. And so that is why I'm excited to share this as an alternative if you are a mom who wants to remove some of these overstimulating shows from your children, but maybe you don't feel like you want to be completely screen free, or maybe you feel like they can benefit doing a fun educational song once a day for a few minutes or something like that. I highly recommend it. You can use it very minimally once a week, or just know in the back of your mind that if you need something every great once in a while on a rainy day when you have done everything else and you really don't want to use screens, but you realize that you have something that could actually be beneficial and you don't need to feel guilty about, you have the Good and the Beautiful Kids channel. So I would recommend subscribing to the kids channel because that way you don't miss like any new stuff that they have coming out, especially if you're trying to learn something like the days of the week with your child. Sometimes having a song can really help them memorize. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and also just thank the Good and the Beautiful for sending me this beautiful curriculum that I get to share with you today, because I have loved what I've used from the Good and the Beautiful, and I really value how careful they are about what content they are putting in front of children, whether it be video content or books or curriculum. That is one thing that they're very serious about, and that is why I continue to use the Good and the Beautiful with my children, even though I don't tend to use curriculum in a completely traditional way, which I've shared a lot about in the past, so I will spare you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about because you're new to my channel, just go back and watch my curriculum picks videos and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's jump into what I have in this big box. Now, the first thing I have is not really curriculum, but there's something that we really liked having. We got these when we did a US Constitution and Government unit from The Good and the Beautiful. These are kind of like marketed for their student journals. They're kind of like a doodle journal. And so these are erasable pens of all different colors. And I actually really like these for my planner. And then my kids really like these as well. So I did get 3 packs of these just for the upcoming school year for something fun. And then also for me too. I shared in my last video about pre-K and K curriculum picks that I was not using a traditional like full year curriculum. I am still ironing those things out and will decide as I go, but I know that we are not going to be like heavily academically focused. But I did share that I had the doodles and pre-writing that I've been working through with my 4-year-old, like very gently and very like every once in a while whenever he is in the mood. I got him the doodles and pre-writing part 1, and then also I got him the part 2. So I also did get both of these for my 3-year-old. She's like going to be 3.5 essentially by the time the school year starts. And again, I am not going to make her do this. This is going to be simply interest led. So if we sit down for morning time or the older kids are doing independent work and she wants to feel like she's doing that too, this will be here and available for her if she wants to do that. These are very gentle, just starting to like learn pencil control and matching and just simple, gentle learning. She can scribble on it, she can color in it, like whatever she's ready for. If she's interested in it, I have it here for her. So I really do like those. And then as you get to the end of the books, then they start actually introducing more letters and like the type of lines you would need to practice to make those letters and things like that. So that's that. The next thing that I want to share that I did end up grabbing that I was not sure if I was going to was the handwriting level 3 from The Good and the Beautiful for my upcoming 3rd grader. She's almost done with her level 2 book. She actually really enjoyed it. And so I figured why not? It gives her a little bit of independent work. She actually really loves stuff like this. Although I'm not a huge like textbook and worksheet person, I don't necessarily feel like it's necessary all the time. She actually enjoys it and she really is driven to learn cursive, and the level 3 is hugely focused on cursive. So I did end up getting this for her. Again, I will encourage her to use it. She'll be able to do it whenever she wants, and it's just to have something for her if she wants to. This is something that I've contemplated for a couple years now, the Creative Writing Notebook #1, and this is for levels 3 through 8. And I'm not sure still who I want to use this for, if I want to use it for my 3rd grader or my 7th grader, or maybe I want to get one more of these and use it with both of them, and it'd be kind of something fun that they're both doing together. But it's just really sweet, and I wanted to find a way to include more writing that's just gentle and not taking the joy out of writing, and really letting this be something where they can just go through and pick and choose, not necessarily that I will assign, but maybe it will be presented as like an optional thing, or hey, why don't you do either some independent reading or some creative writing or something like that. So I did grab this one. I will let you guys know what I decide as far as like who I will use it for, but there's like prompts for poetry and descriptive writing and dialogue and things like that. What I like in the beginning though that I noticed, again with a focus on what is like good and beautiful, talking about writing good and beautiful style and being a light in a dark world, and how many books and things are packed with disrespectful behavior and attitudes, and this kind of walks them through the kinds of things you don't want to put in your writing if you're trying to honor God in your writing. So I love that inclusion. So I'm really excited to use this, maybe for both of them. I'm not quite sure. So I was hesitant to get level 6 language arts. I shared in my 7th grade curriculum picks that my 6th grader is still in the 5th grade level and why he is. I shared that. And the level 5 is the revised, updated version, and it is so beautiful. I love it so much. So I was like, maybe I should just wait because he doesn't need this yet, and then wait and see if level 6 comes out. But this really, honestly, looks great. It looks beautiful. It does have the spiral binding instead of like the closed binding that the newer ones have, but I'm interested to try it out. It has the same like balance of images and poetry and literature included. So right here in lesson 34, they start Little Lord Fauntleroy, chapter 1. And so I like how it guides them through literature. So we got the book Little Lord Fauntleroy to go along with it. And I'm really interested to see how he ends up liking this. This may be middle of the school year that he actually gets to this, because he is still working through his level 5, and we don't do it every day. We don't even really do it 4 days a week. Yeah, I mean, this even has like a bread baking project in it. So their language arts, I just love the way that they do it, where I don't have a separate spelling curriculum, a separate writing curriculum, a separate literature curriculum, a separate grammar. I like that language arts is all in one. That is a big deal to me. It does come with the answer key, which typically I honestly have him check his own answers. And then it comes with the geography and grammar cards, which I want to get a little bit better about utilizing. We both kind of forget, even though it is prompted in the checklist for him to do those, we kind of slack on that a little bit. So maybe we can try to get back on track with that in the upcoming school year. Oh, it also has the level 6 reader. So they will have certain things that they have to read in here. I'm interested to see how this goes. Next thing I did get is something that was part of the old level 3 language arts, and it's this poetry book, I Sat by the Sea, a poetry collection for elementary age children. Now, I grabbed this because I feel like my almost 8-year-old will really love having her own poetry book. So again, this is something that I can encourage her during some like independent learning and exploration time to say like, hey, go do some creative writing, or why don't you read some poetry? And then she can even do some poetry copy work in her notebook and things like that. And I may even pull this out during morning time or something like that to read a poem to all of us. So I did grab this, I Sat by the Sea. I don't know if they're gonna continue to stock this and just sell it separately, or if it's something that they're gonna kind of like discontinue along with the old level 3 language arts. So I just wanted to grab it just in case, because it looks really beautiful, and I just love that it's just poetry. So I grabbed that. Last thing that I want to share with you that I grabbed is the brand new level 3 language arts. Now, this may not be until the middle of the school year that we actually get around to doing the level 3 language arts, because we still are working through level 2. But I got excited and wanted to grab it, and I wanted to see it, to be honest, because there's been so much hype around it. And Jenny Phillips, the founder of The Good and the Beautiful, has shared that like this might be her favorite curriculum that she's created, is level 3 language arts, that she spent a lot of time on it, and that she's really excited about it, and that got me really excited about it. So true to form, it is beautifully laid out. It's visually beautiful, and it's just, the content really is so beautiful. I love that it is collaborative between the parent and the child, and that there's things for them to read and the child to read, and there are artist studies in here. I am just so excited to do this with her. We are loving level 2. I mean, look at, here's another artist study. Look how beautiful this is, you guys. Truly, it is open and go. So if you're not like me and you don't like to mix and match a billion things, and you can help yourself, you can have everything open and go with The Good and the Beautiful. So math, language arts, history, science, all of the things, and Bible is woven throughout. It's just beautiful. Like, look at this. Oh, I'm so excited. And yeah, even though we don't do it every day, maybe this will go even into 4th grade, and I'm totally fine with that. They really are higher level in terms of the level of learning. Like, I don't see it as comparable to like public school grade levels. I definitely feel like it is more advanced So I don't feel bad if we're like behind where she's supposed to be. And then it comes with 4 books. So there are 4 books that come along with it. Heather and the Highland Pony. And I love how their books, again, have like you read some and the child reads some, and it's kind of like a read aloud that you guys do together. Timothy of the 10th Floor is another one. These are just beautiful, beautiful books. The Kingdom of Kind, that sounds beautiful. And then lastly, The Journey of 5. And so these are the original, these are brand new original books created for the level 3 curriculum that are woven into the curriculum. So it is guided, it tells you when to read them and all of those things. Something that I do know is new for level 3 is spelling having its own separate little practice book. Correlated with the level 3 language arts course book. Again, even though this isn't a separate book, it is correlated with the unit. So I love that. So they can go in and do practice and learn spelling rules and all of those different things in this separate little spelling practice book. So that is the level 3 language arts, the level 6 language arts, the creative writing notebook, the level 3 handwriting. I also do think I may end up getting the level 7 handwriting for my 7th grader. I didn't get it this time around, but I think I might. And then also, of course, the doodles and free writing. I do have a book haul coming up very soon on my channel that shares a bunch of books that I got from The Good and the Beautiful as well. And so be on the lookout for that if you want to see all of the books. I love their books. I get asked questions all the time about how do I choose good books for my kids that align with our values, that I don't have to be worried about having content that I don't agree with. And one of those ways, one of the easiest ways to do that is just buying good books from The Good and the Beautiful, to be honest, because I know that they are put through such a strict process as far as what is allowed in their books. And that's really important to me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments below. If you've used any of these curriculums before, definitely let me know in the comments how you like them or any tips and tricks that you have for using them. If you want flip throughs of any of this, definitely let me know. Don't forget to check out the kids channel, the kids YouTube channel, which is linked down in the description box below. Let me know if you've checked it out before and what maybe your favorite videos are on there, which our children's favorite videos are on there. The Good and the Beautiful is also linked down below if you want to check out any of this curriculum. If you're not already following me over on Instagram, you can follow me there at rooted_homelife. And I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. Until next time, stay rooted.